Throughout life, we will all experience being a follower of a leader. Growing up, I had no other choice but to be the follower of my older sisters who taught me a lot about growing up. But since moving away and coming to college, I have matured and developed my own morals and values, which have allowed me to have a better understanding of who is a good leader and who is a negative leader. The relational leadership model is described as the relationship process of people that are combined together to work towards a common goal or attempting to have positive change. When I began my search to interview a leader who demonstrates the relational leadership model, it did not take me very long to decide. So today, I'm going to first discuss who I chose to interview and why I chose to interview, and then I'm going to discuss what organization they are affiliated with. Then I'm going to make connections from my interview to the relational leadership model. I am also going to discuss what insights I gained, and I will finish up by highlighting my outside research. So let's get started by talking about who I interviewed and their organization they are a part of. For my leadership interview, I decided to interview the person I believe is a prime example of a leader on Ball State's campus. I chose Erin Kessler, the president of my sorority, Chi Omega. Chi Omega is a women's fraternity and is the largest member of the Panhellenic Council. The organization is committed to their founding purposes, which are friendship, service to others, academic excellence, community and campus involvement, and personal and career development. There are 179 chapters, and Erin is the president of the Phi Epsilon chapter here at Ball State University. The Phi Epsilon chapter participates in community service around Muncie, Indiana, also participates in Riley's Dance Marathon, and holds 2 philanthropies for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I chose to evaluate Erin not only because she is the president of my sorority, but also because of her reputation as a leader in the Greek community. I can speak on behalf of my sorority sisters who all look up to her, not only in Chi Omega, but also outside of chapter operations. I admire the way Erin carries herself as a confident woman, and she is always very well spoken. Also, Erin knows how to take charge of our organization while being considerate of others' opinions and values, which is one of the main reasons why she has gained so much respect from so many women. Also, one main reason I was drawn to interviewing Erin personally because I wanted to learn more about how she manages her time being a full-time nursing student and being in charge of 100 girls and remaining to keep cool, calm, and collected while doing so. So during my interview with Erin, her responses were almost directly related to the relational leadership model. Erin targeted in her answers to my questions the 5 primary components of the relational leadership model. Those 5 primary sources are purposeful, inclusive, empowering, ethical, and process-oriented. For example, Erin expressed being purposeful with the first question I granted to her. I asked, how do you collaborate and find common ground with others to facilitate positive change? Her response was, I think conversation is the best way to find common ground with others. Gathering input from multiple sources allows me to see themes and create goals associated with those themes. I think it is important to hear both praise and concern. Erin's response shows how she keeps other people in mind while making major decisions for the chapter as a whole. This, to me, is one of the most important things about being a purposeful leader, especially in a sorority setting. Another primary component of the relational leadership model that she did an excellent job of expressing was empowering. I asked Erin how she would define her leadership style. Her response was, my leadership style is a delegating one. I put an effort to make sure every member of my chapter feels appreciated. This response of Erin's is a perfect example of how she demonstrates the empowering component of the relational leadership model and proves that she wants all members to have a chance to make a contribution. Like I said before, I believe this is one of the main reasons why Erin has gained so much respect from so many women. I looked up to Erin even before she became president of Chi Omega, but my appreciation for her has grown since learning about her leadership style. This interview process has helped me gain insight to be in this interview process has helped me gain insight and realize that there is more to being a leader than just taking charge, and I believe Erin represents the relational leadership model perfectly. So, I did some research, and from my outside research, I found a very interesting statistic from an article called Fraternity Stats at a Glance. It stated all but 2 presidents since 1825 have been fraternity members, and an overwhelming percentage of Fortune 500 executives are fraternities or sorority members. This statistic shows the type of leadership qualities that can come from Greek life. I also researched a little bit about the ethical component of the relational leadership model. I felt our textbook overworded in explaining this component, so I found an academic article called Ethical Leadership, a Social Learning Perspective from Construction, Development, and Testing. It specifically stated that ethical leadership is related to considerate behavior, honesty, trust in the leader, interaction, fairness, and socialized charismatic leadership. This allowed me to have a better understanding of what an ethical leader is, and Erin basically has all of these characteristics. I trust as her in a leader. She is always honest. She behaves considerate. So I'm really glad that I found that outside research. So let's recap what I've covered today. I first talked about who I chose for my leadership interview and why I chose them. I briefly discussed the organization they are affiliated with. Then I made connections from my interview with Erin to the relational leadership model. I also talked about my insights gained, and I finished up with highlighting my outside research. I can speak on behalf of my sisters in Chi Omega when I say the next president of the Phi Epsilon chapter has some big shoes to fill. Thank you.